Hello everyone and welcome to another Pace of Play video. I am Coach Kelly, and for our second lesson in the series, I'll be teaching you how to gauge and match game speed as well as how to outpace or confuse your opponents using speed. Game pacing is very important because to climb in the ranks you must first understand how to read game flow and manipulate how quickly your team or opponents can move from attack to defense. By the end of this lesson, your goal is to understand the basics of game speed and how to use it to your advantage in games. But before we begin gaming, we need to warm up. Do the classic, make sure all the stuff is off of your desk, your monitors are the proper height, you have water nearby, and then warm up your body by doing the stretch demonstrated by our awesome coach Jana. Doing this will prepare you for our games in a much better way than simply sitting down to play. Then, go into free play and practice making light, medium, and powerful touches on the ball. Vary how you go for the ball and the speed you approach with.
Hi everybody, my name is Jana Labari and I'm a physical therapist with MedStar Health. Today's health tip video is about core strengthening using a physio ball. A strong core supports a healthy back, and back pain is one of the most common complaints that gamers have. Core stability exercises can help prevent or minimize back pain. Here are 2 exercises you can do to help strengthen your core. This exercise is a fun little way to develop some core strength using a physio ball that is actually a lot harder than it sounds. The ball provides an unstable surface which makes you have to work a little harder to keep from rolling off. Sit on the ball and tighten up your abdominal muscles by pulling your belly button in. Slowly lift one foot off the floor as high as you can without rolling or moving too much on the ball. Then lift the other foot and repeat, alternating left and right like you're marching, but keeping the movement slow and controlled. All the while, you're trying to keep the core engaged and keeping the belly button pulled in tight. Continue until you've done about 20 repetitions on each side. Now, here's a way to make the core exercise that we just went over a little harder. While you're sucking in your belly button and lifting one foot off the ground, try to lift the opposite arm towards the ceiling. This makes it a little more challenging and makes your core muscles have to work harder to keep you from falling off the ball. Complete 20 repetitions on each side. That's it for the core stability exercise video. Remember that core strengthening is an important part of overall back health, so make sure to include these types of exercises in your fitness routine. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next week's video for some more tips to help keep you healthy while gaming.
Game speed is largely determined by the speed at which players and the ball move around the field. Higher ranks generally have faster paced games, whereas lower ranked games tend to be slower as players spend more time observing the ball and each other than actually making plays. Player confidence definitely plays into this, but as the collective skill level of the lobby increases, players are able to make more plays in more scenarios, whereas a lower player might simply think that there wouldn't be a way to get to the ball. When a game starts, each player typically starts at the speed they want to play at for the entirety of the game. When all 6 players magically sync speeds at the start of the game pace isn't difficult to understand. But however, when your teammates want to play at a different speed than you do, it can often disrupt your teammates and cause confusion during rotations and plays. A good rule of thumb is to follow the pace of the first man in rotation, especially if they're a good player. To practice matching speed, go into rank 3v3. Try predicting what everyone's preferred game speed is and then speed up or slow down your pace accordingly. Play 2 games while making this your main focus. So what happens when your team wants to move at a different pace than you? You have options. Continue to play at your pace and hope the team matches, or you can find a speed that will fit you into their rotations easily. This is especially applicable if you're in a game with a party of 2 and you are the random third. I suggest learning how to adjust. If you are faster than the rest of your team, use your speed to your advantage. Get the balls first, but hold on to possession as long as you can to allow your teammates to rotate into favorable positions. On the flip side, if you're slower than your team, you can play more conservatively and try to hold down the backfield, also called playing third man. Either way, you want to make sure that your team and you are all moving at the same speed. So what if the team is moving at the same pace but the opponents are too fast? What do you do now? In Rocket League, the most important thing as you climb in the ranks is going for the ball when it is your turn. It doesn't really matter if you can make good contact so long as the opponents don't have free reign with the ball to do what they want and make the plays and touches that they need to score. To combat being beaten by a faster team, be up for more balls ahead of time. Think about where you are in rotation. When it is your turn, make a challenge. This tells your teammates that they can expect a consistent rotational pattern, that even though the other team is better, the game will not be as one-sided in speed, even if it is in score. During these games, make sure you're taking mental notes and learning how higher levels play, so that you can go back and look at your gameplay and review yourself later. I often find the second game after playing against Smurfs or higher level players moving at a much faster pace than I am used to usually helps me stretch my skills further. For the scrim play, go out into ranked and play a lot of matches. I recently queued with my friend, a 1600 MMR Grand Champion player. I expected our time to last about a few games, then we would get off. However, she wanted to continue playing, and after 5 hours I was rotating and challenging at her speed, all the while my mechanics were improving and my consistency was skyrocketing as a result of continuous play. I recommend something similar if you have the time to devote to it. If you don't, practice one skill per game. This will allow you to improve your all-around game each time you practice. As Jeremy Clarkson once said, speed and power is the solution to everything. As much as it very much wasn't the solution for his problem the day he said it, it is a solution for ranking up in Rocket League. If you can outpace your opponents and get solid shots and passes, then you'll climb fairly quickly based on your speed alone. But do remember to use your teammates. Once again, I'm Coach Callie, take care and game on.